Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Shama channel. It's been a while since I ran that intro, the little hype GTA type intro. It's been a while since I've used a selection. I was like, let's run that one for a little while. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Friday evening, I just finished work for the weekend, so I am happy. I am gassed. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are also finishing work or finished work, or yeah, depending on your time zone, you might be starting work. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys are doing as we speak before we get into this Inter versus Hellas Verona preview. Another home game. The San Siro pitch is going to be an absolute potato field, because it was already a potato field when we played against against Parma the other day. The Milan played on it the day after, like great planning, and now a couple of days after we're playing on it again. So yeah, that pitch is not going to be in good shape at all. Let me give a shout out and a welcome to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining me on this Friday. Nicola, make sure you check out his channel, BLE Reviews Football. Jane Mrdzim Aline Navijam Zad Nikoga. Yo, what's up? Hope I spelled that correctly, and I hope that was not any swear words or slander that I just said there. Bauta in the house, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Marcello, let's hope we have Bare and Chala back for the Supercoppa. Yes, we should have them back. I'll talk about it in a moment, but we should have those two back for the Supercoppa game. Stoilko Ball, what's up? Marvel Lawson in the house, MVP in the house. Christian Potato, speaking of potato fields, Christian Potato in the house after Napoli, Monza, and Parma. This is the true test, yes, sir. These types of lower table teams, they always show, like I always say, yes, big games are important, but like most 70% of the season is not big games. 70% of the season is teams outside of the top 6, top 7. That's where you earn most of the points. 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day. So this is supposed to be our easy month in terms of fixture list in the league. So we need to be getting 3 points. 100%, like we have to get 3 points. Ahmad is having a glass of wine. Classy guy. Another Friday night, another Uncle Shama into preview. My guy, look at that. So I like that. That's how we should be doing it. Damashama probably got injured too, which is why he is late. Yeah, no, luckily I'm not injured at the moment. Just work. I was on a work call. I was finishing work, which explains why I was slightly late. Well, I wasn't late. I just delayed the stream by a minute or so. 15 minutes, sorry. Mattia in the house, what's up? Good to see you in the house. Sina in the house. Anthony Basic, what's up? Looking for Napoli Juve draw. Yeah, I think that would be the ideal result. But if you are in the Discord chat, which again I keep saying to you guys, let me know if you guys want to join. How many members are we now in the Discord? We must be up to 100 now. It's getting to a nice, healthy size community in there. Where is it? I can check. Forgot to check what the number is. Oh yeah, offline 84, online 3, 84, 87. We're 87 members. Not too bad, not too shabby. But yeah, in the Discord chat, there were some people that were hoping for a Juve win. And I just want you people to know, you guys who know who you are, that I despise you and you should hate yourselves. And I wish bad stuff on you. I'm joking. I know it is difficult. Some people are still believing in the Scudetto, which again, I always say on this channel, you guys do what you want. But at the same time, in the Discord, now the Discord is like a little opening into the fan base now. I get to see your daily reactions and feelings onto things at the moment, which is mostly negative. But like people will be saying all this negative stuff. Oh, we're crap. We can't do this. These players are useless. Marotta, Ozili built an awful squad. And then at the same time, the same people are telling me we should be hoping for a Juve win because we need to be going for the Scudetto. So it's funny. The duality of man, the duality of Inter fans. This is why I love this fan base. We are very funny. And wouldn't change us for anything. So shouts out to you guys, but I don't know how you guys are believing in the Scudetto still. And I'm one of the more positive guys as well. I would say I lean I'm quite balanced, but I lean towards the positive side for sure, I would say, in general. And yeah, thank you, Marcello, for reminding the people to like the stream. Future Hendrix with that positivity that I was talking about. Hello to Shama, bye bye to Skriniar. Celebrating New Year tonight, Shams. Oh, okay, I didn't know. So okay, so you guys celebrate. So okay, I didn't even know that the kind of Orthodox New Year. Okay, interesting. Happy New Year to you, then, Mattia, and the other Balkans and Serbians in the house. So whoever celebrates New Year today, Mateo, yo yo. Bruce Wayne, Charlie Diaz. Thank you, Mattia, for reminding the people. Hey, Razan. Hey, Razan. Oh, no. He's at the hospital waiting for a baby, but still watching a live, bro. You special. Oh, I hope. Oh, are you waiting for your baby as in to be born? That's amazing. Sorry, Razan, can you confirm? Because I remember you were saying that you're expecting. So I wanna make sure I'm not like gassing you up if it's something negative. So I just want to make sure before I get all congratulatory with you. I just want to confirm that everything is okay. Thank you, Mattia. Now I am cancelled. Hashtag cancel Sharma. Hey, George, we've got a Juve fan in the house as well. Prediction Juve Napoli. I'm gonna go for a draw. I think Spalletti, Allegri. I'm actually looking forward to the match. I'm definitely tuning in. I'm gonna go for a walk after this stream, clear my head, have some nice fresh air, and then tune in 7:45 p.m. And I think it's going. I want it to be a draw, but I also think it's going to be a draw. I think Allegri, the way this Juventus team is defending, I think they will concede the first goal in like, they got 8 games. I think they will concede a goal, but I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll just be very cagey. Juve won't give Napoli any space, similar to what Inter did. And yeah, I think Napoli just struggled to break down that very well coached Juventus defense. So I think it's going to be a what people would call a not boring 1-1, but I think tactically it's going to be a very enjoyable game to watch. So I'm looking forward to it. Stanislav, thank you for coming through, brother. Zdravej, Zdrasti. Zdravej, I forgot. I used to have a Bulgarian friend. Zdrasti. Oh, zdravej. No, zdravej is thank you, isn't it? I forgot. But yeah, one of those two, Stanislav. I hope I'm correct, at least 50%. Don't bother reading my username. Oh, okay. I guess I did. I guess Mattia wasn't actually joking. It was a complete slander and swear words, maybe. Yasir, as I said, if you DM me on either Instagram or something, or if someone drops the link in the chat here, that would be also nice. Hey, Eduardo, you made it. You've been not good at making the live streams. Yeah, Georgia, Scudetto is possible for everyone because we're still not at the halfway point, as we keep saying, but it's just mathematically everything is possible. But at the same time, what the teams have shown on the pitch, to me, the only convincing team until now has been Napoli. But when a team defends as well as Juventus have and gets the results as Juventus have been doing, they also deserve a shout. Milan are the defending champions, so they also deserve some credit. Inter are the one team I feel like they haven't showed anything. Like, just beating Napoli isn't really good enough. They haven't put in like any good streaks. We haven't shown any good streaks of defending or clean sheets. We haven't really been like there was. Remember last year we were putting teams aside. Like, you remember Roma away 3-0. We were having like some real strong performances. Even the ones we weren't winning, like the Milan derby 1-1. But you had this feeling that Inter were like the best team in Italy, like in certain streaks, in certain periods. Apart from, actually the Bologna game. But again, like, I'm talking about some of the bigger games, this team hasn't really shown to be like, that potential Scudetto winning team yet this season. Like, we need to put in, until we put in a good win streak and we like go on a real, like what Juventus have done, like on a consistent streak of getting results, then I won't believe in this potential Scudetto. But yeah, mathematically everyone is still there. Yeah, we'll talk about the potential midfield that we saw against the Parma. We're probably going to have to see that again. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. It works. The draw always is the best when you've got two teams that you don't want to win. The draw works best. Just 1 point doesn't make move either the needle for either team. So yeah, draw would be ideal. But I always enjoy Juventus watching Juve lose as well. So hopefully, it's a draw or a Juve loss. Even though that doesn't work for the potential Scudetto run. Okay, so Rezan is waiting for his newborn baby, a potential new Interista, guys. Make sure you drop some beautiful, beautiful comments in the live chat. I want to see congratulations. I want to see just love for our brother Rezan from Sweden, Svenska. Future Interista will be born in the coming moments, hopefully nice and healthy. And hopefully your wife is also nice and healthy and can, be everything, hoping that it will be okay. My brother Rezan. Wow, Ahmed, why are you drinking in that wine? You're not wishing the best on our brother. Actually, is a nice name though, Denzel. We can't lie there. It is a very nice name, Denzel. Not that I don't think I would name my own son after him, but it is a good name. I can't lie. So hi, first Inter game right now in Milan. Oh, Kulibaba, yes, I remember you were saying this is going to be your first game at the Miazza. So shouts out to you as well. Enjoy, man. Enjoy that stadium. It's old. The toilets are absolute crap. It stinks. It's probably a health and safety hazard. It's not the most safe in some areas as well, like in terms of depending on where you sit, the type of people you sit next to, but it is one of the best stadiums in the world. And yeah, like it's still, even on the Hellas Verona game, you'll see 60,000 plus Interisti still, because we are the best fan base in Italy. It'll just be beautiful, bro, and hope they actually provide you with the right result, with the 3 points and some good goals and a good performance. Love Lazovic and thumbnail, of course. You and your Serbian propaganda, Nikola, of course, you love Lazovic. Yeah, at the moment, as I said, I don't believe in any type of Scudetto. Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure. That it was a joyous. Imagine that went all like complimentary with him, and then it wasn't. It wasn't good news, but it is. Luckily, it is beautiful news, not good news. Beautiful news. I got a feeling we'll lose from Ahmed. Hey, man, like at the moment, like the fact that we are, yeah, I mean, our last two performances point towards potentially into not getting the right result, and the fact that we're going to have to, midfield is still an emergency. So I don't actually blame you for the negativity. Yeah, Adam, I agree. Draw, and it will be a good result for us. Do I think Inzaghi is on thin ice? I did read, Mark. Reports earlier. I think was it Gazzetta that said that Inzaghi, if he doesn't win the Supercoppa and if he doesn't win the Coppa Italia this year, that his job might be at risk. I disagree. I think it hinges more on the top four. The top four is like the everything to this Inter team financially, status wise as well. Like you see, if we drop our top four, then yeah, we're officially back in the banter era. Until we're not out of the top four, I'll continue denying people that say this is the banter era. That's the moment that we are back in the banter era, as soon as we drop back into the Europa League and yeah, those lesser competitions. But until then, I don't think Inzaghi is on thin ice. He still has a good contract ahead of him. But if those Simeone rumors and stuff, start to get warmer and warmer, then maybe, yeah, we can talk about potentially his seat getting hot. Make or break match coming up. This is it. Yes, Imran, I agree. We are not winning Scudetto this year. I hope Napoli wins. Yeah, as I've said from the beginning, if Inter don't win it, it has to be a Napoli for me, because I have very little animosity towards Napoli or their fans. yeah, I don't have any issue with them. Milan, as all Rossonero is here, gufando. He's being a little jinx. He's coming here to give us the bad luck, the bad voodoo. But make sure you guys check him out on his channel if you want to know about what's going on in the world of Milan. So yeah. Yeah. So you've typed it in Bulgarian. I can't read that, bro. So I don't know which one I said correctly. But I think I was right, wasn't it? Zdrasti is hi and zdravey. Hello. Blogodaria is thank you, isn't it? Blogodaria, I think, is thank you. Yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back to me. There it is. All the congratulations to Razan. I love to see it. There it is. Razan, say goodbye to sleeping. It's one of my good friends in real life has also had a baby very recently, and yeah, he's just said I've not slept for the last 4 or 5 days. So yeah, good. Say goodbye to your sleep, Razan. You reminded me of the toilets. Can't believe there were no tissues. No tissues is the last problem with those toilets, bro. The smell, the actual facilities. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it without people. If you haven't been to the San Siro, that's one of the things you need to check out. Is a relic from the medieval era. those toilet facilities. I'm sure maybe in like the boxes, like those the corporate boxes area. I'm sure that's like very nice, but if you're like in the normal seats and you have to, yeah, not very good. Not very good. There is, of course, it will be an Inter supporter, the baby. Love you all, and thanks, Uncle. We are doing great. That's great to hear. And yeah, let us know what you name the baby as well. That would be interesting. I agree, the best stadium, really beautiful. Our goal should be top 4 in Coppa now. Exactly, King Abdullah. Hey, my boy Sunit in the house, my uncle from Dubai, as I like to call him. Aslani as Mezzala or Regista. Yeah. Shall we get into it? Let's get into it. That's enough chit-chatting. Let's get into the match preview. So it depends. I mean, if you're asking me for my opinion, I've said that I'm quite disappointed with Inzaghi not testing out Aslani as a Mezzala, because he's shown at youth level his numbers and his position was he moved around. He wasn't just a regista for Empoli in youth and in the first team. Against Inter, he played as an attacking midfielder both times he played against us. And when you watch him play, you can just see he's got attacking, tendencies. He always looking forward. He's got a good shot on him. And he's got an eye for like the final pass as well. He's quite dynamic, and he defensively in the regista position, you can see that defensively reading of the game and things like physically he needs to improve a little bit. So I am disappointed with Inzaghi not trying him in the Mezzala position. And according to Gazzetta, who have been quite reliable with their lineup predictions over the last year or so, I've understood that are actually quite good, Gazzetta, in terms of Inter lineup predictions. They're saying that Hakan is going to be able to recover for this match. He's not going to be 100%, but able to recover, unlike Barella, who's going to be on the bench. He's definitely not going to start Barella, unfortunately. So they're saying that Hakan, Regista, Aslani, Mezzala with Mkhitaryan still doing, again, even Mkhitaryan really shouldn't be starting, because we've seen he's struggling physically already, even though we've only come back and we've only played 3 games, but he's had to play all 3 games and he already looks done physically. And he's made a couple of mistakes against Monza, and he didn't look too great against Parma either. But we're, numerically in midfield, we are as we are, and Inzaghi seems to be reluctant to play our Primavera boys to make up. He uses them to make up the numbers on the bench, but he doesn't actually bring them on, which is also another disappointing thing about Inzaghi. So yeah, Aslani Mezzala, I would like to see that, but at the same time, according to Sky Sport, they're saying that Aslani will be, so this will be the exact same midfield as the Parma game. Aslani, Gagliardini, and Mkhitaryan, not a great midfield on paper, and we saw even in action against Parma, it wasn't great. So ideally, I would like to see this midfield, but at the same time, I don't want to be I don't want Inzaghi to risk Hakan for sure. I don't want him to risk him and cause any issues ahead of the Supercoppa game, because of course we want Hakan and Barella to be fit for that game. Even Brozovic might be back for that Supercoppa game, but again, he won't be fit to start. So yeah, and Aslani could even be, if Brozo is not back for that Supercoppa game starting, I mean, Aslani could also be an option for Mezzala, as I said, because Mkhitaryan just looks like he needs a rest for a little bit. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying about the Parma game. I was saying even in my post-match reaction, like it's like that every year. Like these early Coppa Italia games, like Coppa Italia is an awful competition, like the way it's organized, the little teams, like they always, yeah, like even Mourinho said yesterday, like it's the worst competition in Europe. It's just like there's no monetary motivation, because like I think you wear like 500k to win the Coppa Italia, which is, you know, that's not even like the club isn't really going to push the coach to try win it, because that 500k doesn't really move the needle for anyone. And yeah, like even like, you know, spectacle wise, so the competition, like teams rotate. You saw Milan lost to Torino. You know, Fiorentina just about won against who they play, Roma just about won against Genoa as well, who's a Serie B team. It's just how it is. Like and last year we saw against Empoli, we did the same. Fiorentina the year before, as I said. So don't look too much into that. And you know, we were rotating quite a bit. Yeah, the one to watch out for from Hellas Verona is definitely their striker, who's not a big goal threat per se. He's just massive, and yeah, probably the best aerial player like in the whole league, in the whole Serie A. Like this guy, I'm sure if I check the stats, he'll have the best aerial win percentage. He's massive and he's really good in the air. Not really much of a goal threat and not much of a threat in behind, but we need to watch out aerially for sure. So I think Acerbi is probably going to be man marking mission on Duric. I'm having food shawarma. That's always a nice thingy, a nice activity to do whilst watching the Uncle Sharma show. Into Deep. Nick, Uncle Sharma, great appearance on the Studio Inter with Nima. Yeah, make sure you guys check out the Studio Inter pod with Sempre Inter, where you know, I had to clear up the allegations of the Tuku Correa, the Correa sexual allegations. Nima had to clear that up. But it is what it is. I can't get rid of that tag now. The expensive thank you, Sneak, for yeah, I guess, you know, he's from Dubai, so he's a baller, so he's had the expensive seats. But yeah, he's confirming that even the expensive seats have crap toilets, so there you go. Vietnam War flashbacks from that midfield, eh? Worse than that. Parma's always been tough for us. That's also true as well. Historically, Parma have always been tough for us as well. Ban Gagliardini from the entire country of Italy. It's funny coming from him, because he's literally the twin of Gagliardini, physically, facially. But yeah, I can't wait till Gagliardini leaves at the end of this season. But it'll also be very Inter to renew him and slap it in my face. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Deschamps. Like when we are, like, we've seen Allegri, he's been forced into it, but he's done it. He's been forced into it, but he's done it with Fagioli, Miretti, Sule. He's been playing a lot more of the youth. Whereas Inzaghi seems to be quite reluctant, even though right now we are in a little bit of an emergency. Yeah, like even on the bench, he brought Kamate in for the Coppa Italia, but I don't see his name here on Gazzetta. And yeah, I don't see his name here for Sky Sport Italy either. And yeah, Lukaku is out, by the way. Surprise, shock. As I said, you know, when we announced his injury the other day, yes, it's not serious. Yes, it's just like a inflammation of the knee. But as soon as Lukaku doesn't train for 1 day or 2 days, like, he's going to need like a whole week at least to get back into shape. So yeah, the pain on that front continues. He should be back for the Supercoppa game. But I doubt he will start. to be honest. I doubt he will start. Going back to the starting lineup, so Matty Dom's coming back in starter. I think Inzaghi said after the Parma game, so he's kind of explained why Denzel hasn't been starting. Since he's come back from the World Cup, Inzaghi said he's come back with some physical issues. So that explains why he didn't start against Monza and Napoli. I mean, the Napoli one, I think, was definitely probably more tactical. I think even if Denzel was 100% fit, he probably would have started Darmian in that game, I reckon, just because the Kvaratskhelia factor. But I was surprised against Monza that Darmian continued, and then he started against Parma, and he didn't have a good game. And the boos, I wouldn't call them boos, but the moans, the groaning return on Denzel. Like if you guys remember when he first came in last year, the fan base at the San Siro was starting to be frustrated with Denzel in terms of his going backwards, not taking on his man, or not being, forward thinking. And I heard the same kind of moans and groaning against Parma when Denzel was getting the ball. So yeah, if he isn't 100% fit, then I agree. Darmian should be starting ahead of him. He needs to win his place back. And let's see what the transfer market brings in terms of Denzel, because he remains, just as he was last summer, the most sellable, the most expendable starter in this team. But let's see if he is the starter, if he remains the starter. I still see him as the starter personally, because I think if he comes back to form, and we saw last season when you look at the amount of minutes and starts, Denzel was our starter, and he probably is this season as well if we look at the minutes. But we'll see moving forward. And DiMarco returning on the left wing back. Yeah, one of the learnings from the Parma game was that, yeah, we like the Gosens, and the Correa situation is different, like, because Gosens hasn't had enough opportunities and he actually puts in effort. We know that he's a good pro, and the fan base is behind him. We're all like trying to support him when he starts, but we see that at the moment DiMarco is definitely ahead of Gosens in the pecking order, and for good reason. So yeah, back in the starting 11 up front, it is what it is. Correa's definitely not earned any type of playing time after that Parma drab performance. So back to Dzeko, Lautaro with Lukaku's injury. And yeah, Skriniar. So yeah, not too different from the Parma game, to be honest. Apart from Acerbi and Skriniar back in, Darmian and DiMarco back in, and then Lautaro started. So Dzeko in for Correa. So yeah, half the team's changed. So it is what am I saying? It is much change, but essentially, yeah, the midfield is the same. Yeah, the midfield is the same. Let me see what your comments are saying. Also, I don't hate it. Okay, so it wasn't any slander, no slurs. Good. Bellanova, any chance? No. And again, he did have a good showing against Parma, like nice little sub appearance. But again, like there's still a lot to work on with Bellanova. Like tactically, decision making, like he's still quite raw. But I hope that performance against Parma gave Inzaghi more confidence in Bellanova, because his friendly games in the last few weeks before we came back weren't good enough. And it takes some players, it takes time, guys. Like DiMarco, how old is he now? 24, 25. Now he's ready to be the starter left wing back for Inter. He needed the loan to Parma, especially the one to Hellas Verona with Juric. That was the key one. He went out on loan to Sion in Switzerland. He went to Empoli on loan. He went to Ascoli on loan. Like, some players are already at 20, 21. Bellanova is 22. He doesn't seem quite ready to me yet, but he does also need playing time at the same time. So it's one of those situations. But I would like to see him get more opportunity, especially as like he did against Parma, like a impact sub. I think in our team, he's the only player with that real like raw pace, 1v1 ability. And it's not like he's an amazing dribbler. He just has that, ability like we talked about with Perisic of getting that quick half yard just to get the cross in. No one else really has that ability in our team. Yeah, the Lukaku slander continues quite rightly at the moment. Yeah, exactly. He was a breath of fresh air, Bellanova, but at the end of the day, he didn't really provide any final product at the end of the day, but he was just a definite improvement on whatever Denzel was doing against Parma. Don't forget to like the video, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Mattia, for reminding. Eduardo continuing to run anti-Sharma agenda or Correa sexual agenda on me, but it's fine. My lawyers will also be in touch with you, Eduardo, if you continue like this. Not just Nima. My lawyers, Saul, will be in touch with you. Hellas Verona wise, quickly, not too much to talk about. I don't really like their team. I don't like what they did in the summer after their coach Igor Tudor went to Marseille. Very good move for him, by the way. Josh Doig, he has been in decent form for them. He's been linked with some bigger teams. Interesting guy. I don't really like him in terms of for a top team, but I think he definitely deserves potentially a better team than Hellas Verona. But I don't see him anything above a mid-table baller for me. We talked about Duric, the striker. Lazovic is usually, he used to play left wing back or right wing back for them, but he's been moved up front now. I think he's captain in the absence of Faraoni. So he is one of their leaders, and he scored 2 goals in the last game. So he's definitely one to watch out for. Pace and dribbling ability, just like Calon. Tamez is decent. Suleiman, I don't know too much about. I think he's very young, 18, 19 years old. But yeah, these guys, 3-4-3, they try to press high. They go man for man, which is usually the teams we struggle against. So yeah, definitely one to not underestimate. But Inter at home this year, that's the one saving grace of this whole season till now is Inter at home. Away, we've been so bad, probably one of the worst teams. Actually, let's check what's our difference between home and away, because it's actually quite embarrassing how bad we are away from home. If it loads soccer stats, it's Milan. So we are. So currently, compared to last season, we're 6 points behind last season. Go away. Stupid ad. Selling gin to me. I'm not in the mood for gin. Move. Oh, how do I get rid of it? Oh God, it's so annoying. But anyway, we were -6 and -3 compared to last season and the season before. We've conceded 9 more goals than last season at this same spot, but we've only conceded 1 more than Conte's Scudetto winning season, if you want to take any positives. But we've got the exact same. Last 2 seasons, we've scored 43 goals at this stage. So we've scored 6 less goals at this exact stage compared to last 2 seasons. And obviously the worst one is the fact that we've got 5 losses already. And last year we only had 1 at this stage, and with Conte we only had 2. So embarrassing stats. And then if we go to the actual table, yeah, look at that. Away, home form, 8 games, 21 points. So pretty much all wins apart from 1 loss, which was the Roma one. But then away, look at that. We're becoming a Conference League type team. 9 games, 13 points, just over a point a game averaging. And then defensive. Oh my goodness. So Empoli have a better defense than us. Torino, Fiorentina, Udinese, Lecce. Ooh, you bastard. Lecce's defending. Look at that. That is amazing. But still embarrassing that all these teams have got a better defense than us at the moment. Very, very embarrassing. And look at Juventus far, far and away. at the moment, the best defense in the league. But yeah, things need to change very, very quickly. Hey, you've got my boy Sport 231 Vivek in the house. No incomings, bro. We're broke. We are broke boys. Like Liverpool, but to a different, completely different level. Because my friend here is a Liverpool fan. That's why I said Liverpool. But you guys at least got Cody Gakpo in for this month. We can't get anyone. I mean, we've talked about it. Like, you know, the way that Correa is playing is like you'd rather give Carboni a go, but at the same time, you also need to recover the value in Correa. Like, it's one of those situations where if you bench Correa and you like don't play him anymore, you just keep losing value. Whereas at least, yeah, if he plays like crap, then he also loses value. But at the same time, if he starts at least doing those weird 2-goal performances he was doing last season, at least we might be able to get something from the transfer market for him. I would say probably if you ask me who the best Hellas Verona player is, I'd probably say Lazovic as well. Well, it depends when he leaves, Raji. It depends when he leaves. If he leaves in the summer, then yeah, we need to invest in the defender position because we don't know what's happening with De Vrij. D'Ambrosio still needs to renew. Acerbi, are we, making that permanent? Lots of stuff to discuss. What's up, Lab Gorilla? Don't bring up that away score. Yeah, well, it's we have to show the truth of this Inter team. We're only 3 points behind what we were in the Scudetto winning season. Yes, but Ahmad, do you have faith in this Inter team? What we did in the second half of that season was absolutely wash the league. Like, we mopped the league completely. Do you have any type of inkling that this Inter team can go on that type of streak? So yeah, like, numbers wise, we're not too far off that season, but has this team shown any type of potential that they can do what that team did on the Conte? I don't think so. Guy speaking in Scar, well, Sharma reads waveform stats. The Thuram thing, we knew that, once the Premier League teams come, it is rest in peace to the Thuram rumors. But let's see, until hope remains, I'll keep my hope. They are fit, Niak, but they're not fit enough to start. Or Hakan might be fit enough to start, but Barella looks like he's definitely not. Definitely not. It has to be a Premier League team when it comes to like Correa. Like, those are the only financially irresponsible teams that seem to just have endless bags to waste money on players. Uche, I've talked about it multiple times. Singo is my pick in terms of, I'm not saying he's my ideal pick, but in terms of our budgetary restrictions, if we manage to sell Dumfries for 35-40 million, and you're able to get Singo for at least half of that, he's not the finished product, but at 21, I feel like he would be the guy I would invest in for the future, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. As Nick says, this team just doesn't have the same mentality. And then, like Inzaghi also, like, he's really frustrating me with some of the comments he's been making recently. Like, after the Parma game, he said technically we've won 3 games because he was counting, even the bad decision that we got against Monza. That was weird to me. And then today, speaking to Inter TV, he didn't do a proper press conference. He just spoke to Inter TV. And here on Sempre Inter, they've translated the interview. And he says, looking at the results since the defeat against Roma, so he's, for some like arbitrary reason, he's just like chose let's pick the Roma game, the last loss, because after that we played 9 league games and won 7. So, and then we lost to Juventus and drew in Monza. But why is the Roma game the starting point? The starting point is the start of the season, brother. Why are you picking the Roma loss as the starting point of starting? Because obviously it looks good. So yeah, like, he frustrates me. He's just not a very motivational character. I don't know if he is in the dressing room, but he definitely isn't. He doesn't transpire charisma and like confidence to me, honestly speaking, when he speaks. So he's quite frustrating when it comes to that, and you can see in terms of mentality that maybe that comes from Inzaghi as well. Inter to get Becao and Scalvini and some. Yeah, it was heavily linked with Scalvini, but Atalanta won a lot of money for him. A lot of money for him. They're talking about 30, 40 million, which is, you know, out of Inter's reach. But at the same time, I don't want to get into the Excel sheet and start calculating, but yearly cost wise, it's actually not too far off if we like the renewal of Skriniar. Like if Skriniar doesn't renew, we're talking about like if currently his net cost or his gross cost in on the books is around, because he earns like 3, so it's about 6.5 million. So if you buy a Scalvini, if you spread it over 5 years, plus his salary will be quite low. It's not far off in terms of yearly cost of replacing Skriniar, because that's the thing. When big salary players leave, it does open up space to have a little bit more playing ground, or like playing wiggle room in your budget. But yeah, Atalanta are asking for a lot of money. Becao again, yeah. If it's a cheap backup option, yeah. I don't really see him as a starter material for Inter. Gagliardini is probably starting Mustafa in all the predicted lineup. Well, not all of them. In the Sky Sport predicted lineup, he's starting if Hakan doesn't make it. But if Hakan makes it, then he's rumored to be benched for Aslani, which I would like to see Aslani in the Mezzala position, as we said. Singo had a 1-year extension option, which Torino have taken, but he only has his contract is only up until next year now. So it's not a long-term contract. Barzaghi said they're fit. Yeah, okay, maybe. But I'm just looking at what's in the predicted lineups here on both Gazzetta and Sky Sport. So yeah, maybe he's got some newer news, but they are on the bench. By fit, I think he means that like they're both ready for this game, but just not. Barella definitely not ready to start, but Hakan hopefully is ready to make it. Inzaghi going to press conference talking about ref mistake and drop points. No, because when stuff like that happens, like that's the thing that Conte would have got onto that point. Like he would have said, "Why is no one talking about this? Why isn't the club?" Like a lot of times, remember Conte used to go against the club, saying like, "Why am I the only one defending my club? Why is like," he used to put pressure on Marotta and Auxilio to come out and say things in the press to like be also kind of put pressure in the media as well, which is one thing Conte used to do a lot. This is actually the first time I would say Inzaghi's talked about a refereeing mistake. So I don't have actually a problem with that. It's just counting that as a win. That was a little bit weird to me. Yeah, we're also linked with Per Skur or Shur, Niek, or the Nerazzurri NL, if you can tell us how to actually spell that name. But the problem is, if you're gonna buy a player like this, you buy him from Ajax for 9 million, like Torino bought him, or it was like 9 million plus bonuses, whatever it was. Now you ask Torino to buy him, and they're asking for 25 million. So you have to buy the player from Ajax. So you buy him like from the source rather than you buy him from Serie A when the team doubles or triples the price. So that's the actual issue. And he had a very good game against the Milan yesterday. I watched that game, and he's very good on the ball. Ajax school, of course, centre back. You know the deal. Ajax centre back is going to be really good on the ball. Looks quite good defensively as well. But I need to spend more time watching him to make my final decision whether I would want him or not. But he does look good. He reminds me of like a younger De Vrij in terms of build and moving, like the way he moves, but better on the ball than De Vrij. So yeah, let's what's the one thing I wanted to talk? Oh yeah, let's finish up on Skriniar as well. Like I know the fan base keeps, we keep reading like every single day. I keep talking about, like just wait, guys. Like every day, the newspapers are going to say something. They keep talking about this sensation, like, oh, today Skriniar, Inter have positive sensations. The next day, oh, today is negative sensations. One day, oh, the meeting is tomorrow. Oh no, there actually is no meeting scheduled. So as far as we know, as far as I've understood from Italian content creators like Alessandro Cavazzini, and what I've read on various reports, is that we're probably looking to, or the Inter's management is probably going to meet with Skriniar and his entourage after the Supercoppa game. So after, where is it when we're playing them? 18th? Yeah, so we're probably next weekend or some point next week. Because he still hasn't given the answer. We made the contract offer we gave him was like last month, and there still hasn't been an answer from him and his team, which some people see as a negative, which I also understand. No answer also means like I know answer is also an answer, if you know what I mean. Like if you're not answering, that's also a type of answer. Some people are saying he's reflecting on it, and some people are saying that he wants Inter to make another proposal, and just make a slight more sacrifice. So Inter have pushed themselves to 5.5, 6 plus bonuses, taking it up to 6.5, which makes him, alongside Brozovic, our highest paid player, quite rightly. The offer on the table for him from PSG is around 9 million net, plus if he signs on a free, there will be a big signing bonus. So you're talking about big difference there. But I was listening to Nicolo Schira as well, talking about it, that he is just waiting, or he would like Inter to just. Inter have said, like in the media as well, Marotta said, we've made our final best offer to him. So we have to find out and see, are Inter bluffing? Is it really their biggest and final offer they can make to Skriniar? Because from what Schira was saying, what Cavazzini was saying, and a few others I've heard talking about the situation, is that if Inter can like just get to 7 or 7.5 to like make him, that would make him the highest paid defender in the league as well. That would make him, that would take him over Bonucci. Actually, that in terms of total salary as well, like in terms of what it costs to Inter, he would probably make him the highest paid in the whole of Serie A, actually, because Lukaku, even though he earns 8.5, because of the salary benefits that Inter get, the total cost is not actually as high. Actually, I can show you what this would do if I pull up Calcio e Finanza. Let me show you. So you say per Zgurs. Okay, so it's not like a C, skurs, it's Zgurs. Thank you for clarifying that. So yeah, Lukaku is the highest paid. Obviously, you're going to laugh at that, but he is the highest paid net. But in terms of actually what it costs Inter, it isn't, because of he gets the growth decree. So Lukaku and Pogba are the highest, the ones that in their pocket, straight in their pocket, they're the highest paid in Serie A. But Vlahovic, in terms of the cost to his club, because he's from, he's been in Italy for many years, he doesn't get the growth decree, the growth decree benefits. So he's actually, it depends how you look at it, how you perceive, like to me is the cost that the club is paying someone. So to me, the gross cost is, because in Premier League, in all the other leagues, Italy is the only place really where they talk about salary in net terms. Everywhere else they talk about salary in gross terms. So the gross ones I would say is what I look at if we're talking about who is the highest paid. So technically is Vlahovic. Then after that, you see Brozovic is the same issue as in terms of, because Brozovic has been in Italy for a long time. He doesn't get any tax breaks. Bonucci doesn't get any tax breaks. Szczesny, Alexandro, all these guys, Lautaro. Di Maria gets them, but technically it depends because he has to stay in Italy for at least 2 years. So I think Juve actually won't get this tax break on Di Maria. But anyway, this is not getting into deep accounting. So yeah, here's the ranking really, gross wages wise. So the current offer would take Skriniar here, so in line with Brozovic and Bonucci, which of course he deserves that much. But I think Inter might need to push themselves to even over here. They might need to push themselves to 7.5. And it's easy for us to say, like, you know, and I've said it on my channel multiple times, like, give whatever he wants, give him 8, give him what he wants. It's easy to say for us. But imagine, guys, if they give Skriniar 7.5, 8, it's just like like a domino effect. Like you break the transfer, the wage budget of your club, and then afterwards it's like every renewal is going to be, everyone's asking for more and more. And then when you think about it, like, this is, let's round it up to 13 million a year. That's the gross cost. That's 13 times 5. That's 65 million cost to Inter. That's a big investment to commit to. Whereas if they stick to around 12, which is 6.5, it's not too much difference. 60, yeah. So it's not too much difference, but it's just that you see it with Milan as well. Yeah, like the floodgates will open, and then you see it with Milan. Like you have to have a strict salary cap, because that also helps you maintain everyone else's level. You see, like Theo Hernandez just renewed for them this year, and they're somehow, like, he only renewed for 4.5 million. Like, he's not even with a renewal, Theo Hernandez doesn't come into this top 10 list. Benacer renewed yesterday, 4 million. But Leao, according to reports, Leao wants to break that salary cap that they have. Leao wants to get, they're talking about 7, 8, 9 million net. And, Milan fans are saying the same thing. Like, give him what he wants. Like, he's the best player in Serie A. Give Leao what he wants. But then, again, it's that same thing. It's like you break that wage salary ceiling, then it becomes difficult afterwards, the future negotiations, and it's difficult. Inter already made a mistake. Like, the problem is Inter should have renewed Skriniar way before. They shouldn't have let this come here. They shouldn't have let Skriniar be on sale last year. And if he was on sale last year, then they should have just sold him. They should have closed the Bremer deal. They should have sold Skriniar. Yes, they didn't get the offer that they wanted. They wanted to get 60 million plus from PSG. I think PSG pushed themselves to like 50. But if the renewal agreement wasn't there, because I thought that's what the reports were saying, that if PSG go away, the renewal is there, ready. He's ready to sign it. So it's a mistake from the ownership of from the ownership. Obviously, everything comes down from the ownership. But Marotta, the handling of this, not handle well. And if he leaves on a free, this will be a disaster, like that, a complete disaster, absolute disaster if he leaves on a free, like worse than any of the Milan free transfers, because in the end it will depend on how he's replaced. But at the same time, we're just in such a bad situation financially. I don't see us being able to replace him properly either. So it's going to be an absolute disaster if he leaves on a free. So even if we do sell him, even if we can get him to just sign and maybe like put in like a release clause, like Benacer's sign a new contract, but he's got a 50 million euro release clause, which is like peanuts to Premier League teams. But I think it starts from not this summer, it starts from next year. But that's something you could do to get like a short-term deal in for Skriniar. You can give him, you can maybe, and that you could push him, you could push yourselves to like slightly higher salary, but just say that as soon as 50 million offer comes in, release clause, and we can sell you. So at least you don't lose out on that potential. So really, really tricky situation. But as I keep saying, for some reason, I remain weirdly confident just because it is Skriniar. And it still reminds me of the Brozovic situation from last year. Brozovic signed his renewal, guys. It went on for months and he signed it in March. So we're in January right now. And I remember the Brozovic one dragged on for so long. It was like, it will be done by the Christmas break. It will be done by after the Christmas break. It kept dragging on and on. The main difference between the Brozovic situation and the Skriniar one is the fact that we don't know if Brozovic had a concrete offer on the table, whereas we know Skriniar has. The PSG offer is on the table, and it's a good one. It's a really good one. With Brozovic, there was rumors of Barca sniffing around, Liverpool sniffing around, but we don't know whether there was a real, offer on the table. So that's the difference between the Brozovic situation and Skriniar situation. But again, the fact that he hasn't answered to me, again, is I feel like he's still waiting maybe for Inter to make that extra step. But also he needs to do it as well. Like he needs to give us an answer. Like don't dick around at the same time, Skriniar. As you guys know, he is my favorite player in this team. And if he signs a renewal, I will buy a Milan Skriniar 37 shirt. But at the same time, modern football, you can't be attached to anyone. And if he leaves, is the confirmation of that. But again, I'm not blaming him if he does leave because there's multiple factors how this whole thing was handled. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, the Leao one is interesting. How that will end. Kilo, just DM me either on Instagram or if you message me on Twitter, I can send you the Discord link. Yeah, people are calling him Morata. Yeah, it's not simple, but at the same time, I'm saying like it's his own fault that has got to this stage as well. Like if you let it get to this stage, it's because you mishandled it before. Like Perisic, how Perisic said after the Coppa Italia final, he said, "You don't wait this long for your best players to renew or to give them offer." But at the same time, we haven't waited until the last moment because we have been talking with him for a while, but it's not too far off. Like this should have been sorted the year before. Like the Bastoni stuff, like you have to start sorting that this year. Don't wait until it gets into the last year next season and then start to sort it. Bastoni, you need to sort it out now, so it doesn't get to this stage again. And yeah, like other factors off the pitch as well in terms of his family, as far as we know. Like we don't know these guys personally, but as far as we know, well settled in Milan. They're very happy in Milan. Skriniar is also very happy in Milano. And yeah, what he's done in the past in terms of firing his agent, and he's definitely showed us his loyalty over the years. Is he willing to give up those extra was it 2.5 3 million extra net a year in his pocket? I don't know, plus that signing bonus. It's a lot to turn down. It's a lot to turn down, to be honest. And then yeah, the Suning project is probably in free fall because that's what we said. Remember last year, if Brozovic didn't resign, Barella, any of those three last year, like Lautaro not re-signing the renewal, or Barella or Brozovic, then you could have said like this project is falling. Skriniar not signing the renewal is like possibly the beginning of the end. So yeah, that is my thoughts again on Skriniar, guys. Let's just wait wait on developments. Let's wait until they actually have communication between the two parties. Don't read into the positive feeling or negative feeling with the wherever the headlines the newspaper go day to day. Let's wait on development on that. Yeah, no, 100%. Of course, he's also probably that's why he's taking time. But I'm sure that's the same thinking process that Lautaro and Brozovic and Barella went through last year. Last year was worse. No, let's not forget, Nick. Last year was worse. We slowed Lukaku and replaced him with Dzeko. We sold for 115 million and bought the guy for 1 million Dzeko, and then Correa sold Hakimi, replaced him for 14 million with Dumfries. Like last summer was much worse with Conte leaving, you could say, whereas this summer actually was kind of like quite stable. But yeah, maybe he's thinking about like long term. Is it really going anywhere? So I was actually, if you think about it, the renewals last year were more of a miracle than this year. Like the fact that Barella, Lautaro, and Brozovic all renewed, and Marotta, Auxilio, the whole management renewed last year as well. So yeah, let's finish up with we're on an hour now. Let's finish up with match predictions. If it is this lineup with Hakan in there, oh no, actually Sky Sport changed the lineup whilst we were live, didn't they? Because Aslani was starting in there as regista. Oh, god damn it. Because yeah, I'm 100% sure Aslani was in there either before we started, because I remember pulling this up before we started, and now Hakan's snuck in there. So it looks like Hakan is ready to start if he's on both predicted lineups. But I hope, yeah, knowing Inzaghi will be Gagliardini over Aslani, but I'll have like 10% faith that it might be Aslani starting, because I put him as the thumbnail as well. So yeah, but he should be coming on at some point, because surely he needs to give Mkhitaryan at least the rest, and Hakan is going to be hard to give him 90 minutes straight away. And yeah, it is. By the same time, Mattia, we probably have to risk him just to get the 3 points as well. Because I don't know if the midfield we started against Parma is ready to get the 3 points. But yeah, give me your predictions, guys. Always, well, we talk about all the negativity, but then when we come to the predictions, everyone's comes in with the positivity. 3-0 Marcello, 4-2. Yeah, you know the deal. Want to say 2-0, but with Lord Gag starting instead of Aslani, 0-0. 4-0, keep saying it till it happens. 4-0, Rusty 2-1, 2-1. Yeah, I'm not with that midfield. Yeah, I think our minds might be like a little bit distracted towards the Supercoppa as well. I'm not expecting a good performance once again. So 2-0 win uncomfortably. Yeah, I like that. Uncomfortable 2-0 win. I like the phrasing of that. Yeah, even me, Javier, I wouldn't start Mkhitaryan, honestly. I would rest him for the Supercoppa, so he actually has got some juice in his legs for that game. But yeah, it is what it is. If Inzaghi's not going to give any of the Primavera guys a chance, he's going to have to just squeeze whatever Mkhitaryan has in his old legs out. But for me, this is the perfect opportunity to test out Aslani as a mezzala. 2-1, praying for a clean sheet. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could get a clean sheet. They just don't have too much threat going forward, in my opinion. But at the same time, we are Inter. We are a leaky defense this year. So I'll go for an uncomfortable 2-0 win, as Nicola said. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is 2-1 or even a draw. But I'm confident that we'll get the result. Like, we still have cards off the bench. You know, we've got Gosens or Bellanova or Dumfries. Even, you know, he could maybe force Barella on if you really need him in the second half. So we've got potentially some cards off the bench as well to save us if we need to. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that match preview, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all as always. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I won't be on. I won't be on for post match. I'll probably do like a react. I'll do like a recorded video. I won't be on for a live post match reaction. So probably, you guys might need to go on Interworldwide or other platforms to get your live reaction. I'll do probably something recorded, as I said. But yeah, you'll see me at some point with a full reaction. Thank you everyone that joined in. Thank you, Mattia, and everyone for reminding the peoples what to do. And yeah, hopefully our strikers finish the chances. Hopefully both Milan and Juventus somehow find a way to lose tonight or a draw. Interesting match up ahead. Thank you, ragazzi, for tuning in. Always, Forza Inter. Ciao.